I'm going to share with you a common belief that we hear in the health space for sure. It's in the personal development space, it's in the entrepreneurial space, and it's a belief that can really hold us back. And it's definitely something that I've experienced in the past. I'll share a little bit about my story, but the belief that I'm talking about today is I've tried everything, nothing works for me, especially when it comes to chronic health problems, when it comes to women in perimenopause. I know my experience, I've experienced a bunch of these things, but when I was going through my journey of looking for ways to get healthier, living with MS, a lot of what you can be told in this journey makes it really hard to push past it. And it creates other beliefs that can be challenging on this journey too. And for me, the with the chronic illness, with the MS diagnosis, something that I was told was there's nothing you can do. And that's one of the biggest lies in my belief because there's always something you can do. Does it mean you can completely reverse your symptoms like I was able to do? Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, if you could feel 1% better tomorrow, if you could do 1% better in business, in as a parent, in anything that you're doing, wouldn't it be worth it to try? And so, this belief that I've tried everything and nothing works, what if it's just you haven't found the right thing for you yet? Especially when it comes to health issues. I get it. When it comes to health issues, it can be incredibly discouraging if you've tried numerous different treatments, if you've gone to multiple different doctors. I was trying to calculate the other day, I think I saw 5 MS specialists in my time where I was going to see MS specialists. And the interesting part was that at least 2 of them just stopped practicing. Didn't tell me. I just went to book an appointment and it was like, "Oh, he's no longer doing this," or "She's no longer doing this." One of them was let go because there was some questionable behavior with patients, and the other 2, one still is practicing, the other one, I'm not sure because it was like 18, 19 years ago. But to believe that there's nothing you can do can be really discouraging. It's like, why bother try? It leads to people wanting to give up. It's the same, in my opinion, it's the same as if we take a child. This is a slightly different topic, but it's a similar perspective. And you say to a child, there's there's some sort of disability, you can't do things. They no longer try. There's a story about if you put fleas in a cup and you put a lid on top of that cup, the fleas jump. So they will jump and jump and jump and jump, and they would jump out of the cup. So in this experiment, the person put a lid on the top of the cup. Well, suddenly the fleas are jumping as high as they can and they're bouncing off the lid of the cup. And over time, the fleas learned to only jump as high as the restriction that was placed on top of them. So they took the lid off and the fleas no longer jumped out. They believed that's as high as they could jump. And the similar can be said about your health. If you have a belief that there's nothing you can do, nothing's going to work for you, we start to limit our jump. But there's always something you can do. Consider someone like Kris Carr. If you've heard of Kris Carr, Kris was diagnosed with a rare and incurable stage 4 cancer. And so she decided to make the choice and change her life, and now thrives by adopting holistic and integrative approaches. If she had settled for the thought that nothing works, she wouldn't be inspiring millions like she is today. Similar to my experience, I'm not inspiring millions yet, but at some point, that's a goal of mine. I want to help people realize that whatever your diagnosis is, you don't have to just accept and live with it. There is always something you can do. And if the things you're trying aren't working, maybe you just need to look for a different outlet, a different option, or someone who's going to help you dig deeper. For me, food was a really big benefit, but I've seen with clients as well, sometimes food doesn't have the effect that it had on me. But I look at things and say, okay, what's triggering your body that's causing you to have the symptoms that you're having, that's causing you to have the health problems? What's the lid on top of your cup that's making it so you can't jump higher? That could be heavy metals, could be chemicals, could be toxins, could be plastics. Look around yourself. How many places do you see plastic in your daily life? And that has a really big impact on our bodies, on our hormones. on how things function. And nothing in this being, in this vehicle that we're living on, in this time on the planet, nothing works in isolation. So if something's impacting one area, it's impacting other areas as well. And so if food doesn't give you the results that you're looking for, right, maybe you aren't trying it long enough. A, maybe it's not the right strategy for you, or maybe you need to dig deeper and find what else could be the lid on the top of your cup. What else is stopping you from being able to jump further? So, like Kris Carr, who looked at things and said, like, no, I'm not accepting that. It's like Dr. Terry Walls, who was my inspiration when I was going through MS and struggling and thinking that my only option was Western medicine. I grew up in a family where if there's something wrong with your health, your doctor will fix you. And if it's an emergency, I absolutely still believe that's true. But when it comes to things that keep coming back, it might not be. And so I got to a turning point in my life where it was like, I need to do something different because the medicine was making me sicker and sicker. And so I found Dr. Terry Walls at the right place at the right time, which is how things show up when you start to open your mind, start to question the beliefs that may be keeping you stuck and that may be making things worse for you. That's when Dr. Walls showed up for me. And she was someone who was in a worse condition than I was in terms of MS. She was in a tilt wheelchair. She couldn't walk. She couldn't really function on her own. And she had found that nutrition was really big for her. And so that was my inspiration. This was 2011. So there was no TikTok, there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook. You couldn't go online and see all kinds of people who are doing the things that you want to do, which I'm grateful that that is an opportunity for people now because you can't model what you can't see. And when you see people that are living the life that you want to live, regardless of their condition, it makes a big difference. So for me, that was Dr. Walls in 2011, the Walls Protocol. It was like a really extreme diet at the time. And I think she's tweaked things a little bit now, but the whole point is figuring out what's that lid on the top of your cup? Why are you not able to jump higher? What's causing your symptoms? What's causing your body to be so hyper reactive that your health is declining? And so if you continue to hold on to that belief that nothing works, that can keep you trapped in a cycle of frustration and hopelessness and potentially exacerbate your condition. It can affect your overall quality of life. So it's not that nothing works. Can we shift this perspective? What if you decided today, decided tomorrow, decided right now, if you had the belief that nothing works for me, what if it's not that nothing works? What if it's just that the right combination hasn't been found yet? Success often lies in persistence. Success lies in open mindedness. If I had heard, maybe I did, but if I had heard about Dr. Walls a year before I did, I was so closed minded and shut down that I would have been like, that's BS. That's woo woo. I'm not into that garbage. I was a science minded kid. Math, science were my main subjects. And so I thought medicine is the answer. I'm doing everything that I need to be to get well. But then when I wasn't getting better, I had the shift and started opening my mind and started questioning my beliefs. And that's when Dr. Walls showed up for me. I was open to it. So success often lies in persistence, but it also lies in open mindedness. It lies in the willingness to explore integrative and personalized approaches to health. What have other people done differently? If you're looking for a model, book a free discovery call with me. I'd be happy to talk about this stuff. It was almost 19 years ago since I was diagnosed, and I went through the rough ride of following the Western medicine system and of seeing my quality of life just completely decrease to the point where I wasn't even 30 yet. And my doctor was telling me, you are going to be in a wheelchair within a year. To my doctor saying to me, like, you're going to need support. You're not going to be able to function independently. And when I decided, no, I'm not doing that, I need something else. I need to find something else. Something else showed up. And so if you're looking for someone who can be a guide or to have a conversation with, book a free discovery call. I'm happy to talk about this stuff. I have to figure that I didn't go through the struggle that I went through without a purpose. And so if this is something you need support with, I'd be more than happy to help you. This is what led to I went back to school for holistic nutrition because, as I said, nutrition was a really big impact for me. But I from there I didn't stop. It was like, what else can I do? What else could my body be reacting to? And that's what's cool is I've found with other people, if nutrition isn't the magic bullet that just fixes things overnight, and it didn't fix things overnight. It took me years to do this and lots of trial and error. But thankfully, now we have the ability to frequency test to figure out exactly what your body needs to remove. You might not have to cut out all grains. So, gluten, dairy, nightshades. I'm trying to think what else. Legumes, all processed foods, coffee. Like you might not have to cut out everything, but that's what I did because there was no other option. Now, thankfully, we have alternatives to make it easier, but just don't give up. Anytime I go on a podcast and someone asks me, what's the one message you want to leave with people? It's don't give up on you. There's always something else you can do. Is it going to be easy? Yeah, I can't lie to you. Possibly not. Probably not. It's easier now than it used to be, but it's going to take some effort and it's going to take some commitment to yourself and the willingness to explore and be open and understand that just because something doesn't work instantly doesn't mean it's not working. We can't look down and be like, hey, liver, how are you feeling today? And so, if you're doing detoxification or things to help your body clear the things that don't belong there so it can do what it's designed to do and start to help you get healthier, you may not notice a change overnight. You may not notice a change for weeks at a time. But if you're doing things to help your body get better, you can't go wrong. And so, what have other people done differently? Many people have embraced a holistic view. So, considering that it's not just physical treatments, but also mental and emotional well being. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to give up? That was a question that was asked last week at Toastmasters that is one of the groups that I go to that I thought was really interesting. What are you going to let go of this year? And that's not just food. It's not just habits. Like, let's not talk about, I work on my phone. So a little of a saving grace there. But the fact that my daily screen time is like 8 hours, is that a habit that you need to let go of? Is it people? Is it conversations that are dragging you down? What are the things that you need to let go of so that you can adopt a new perspective and explore innovative solutions when it comes to your health that could help improve your health? So, if you're ready to break free from the nothing works mindset and discover new strategies to manage your health, reach out. Like I said, let's book a free discovery call with you. Let's have a conversation and figure out what your body needs to start getting healthy. It's always trying to. And so, if it's not able to, if you're dealing with symptoms, if you're dealing with health issues, there's either something getting in the way or there's something missing. And if we can figure out what that is, oh, there's balloons. If we can figure out what those things are, your body's going to do the thing that it was meant to do. So send me a DM. Let's book a free discovery call and figure out what your body needs and how we can help you get back to health. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. It's Kate McDowell from Aligned Natural Health.